There's an obscure rule in the tax code relating to Roth 401ks that's finally being cleaned up. Good riddance. I'll explain that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, there's so much material, financial material in the Secure Act 2.0. So much has changed. There's over 100 tax law changes that are embedded within it. Few are enormous, quite like the magnitude of some of the things that we saw in the Secure Act 1.0, but it's very complicated. And a lot of the changes actually deal with the Roth IRA, Roth 401ks. And there's no surprise why this is. The Roth accounts are where you don't get a tax deduction today. Your contributions, the money you put into Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, is not a tax deduction today. And in exchange, then the IRS says, well, all the growth on that account, all the activity, the growth on that account will be tax-free from here on out. And there's no secret as to why that is. The IRS, the government, needs your tax revenue dollars right now. They're wanting to encourage you to contribute to Roth so that they can tax those dollars now. And yes, it means we won't tax the growth on that, but that's okay. So this Rothification, if you will, you're going to see a lot of changes within Secure Act 2.0 about the Roth. And part of that is Roth's available now in simple IRAs, making them not so simple, but this is a feature that we've wanted. Same with SEP IRAs, you'll be able to do Roths there. Even keep in mind, mandatory catch-up contributions are coming to Roth 401ks if you earn more than a certain amount. So that one I don't really love, but again, it's this kind of pushing, this Rothification, if you will. So certainly with all of those changes, in the Secure Act 2.0, focusing on the Roth, they're certainly going to clean up the kind of outdated and likely oversight of the required minimum distribution requirements of Roth 401ks, right? Yes, they are cleaning that up. I'm going to call it a glitch, a mistake. I don't think that was intentional, but here's essentially how it's worked, and I'll explain how Secure Act 2.0 is cleaning it up. So all of your pre-tax retirement accounts, when you contribute pre-tax to your 401k, pre-tax to that simple IRA I mentioned, pre-tax to an IRA, you've avoided tax on your contribution. That contribution, that money that went in was tax-free. It's a tax deduction. All that activity in that account, your IRA, your 401k, whatever, has all been sheltered from tax. And then if you don't need the money, you really don't ever have to pay tax on that until someone inherits it and so on. But the IRS has always had this rule in there that says, listen. By the time you reach a certain age, you've got to start taking some money out, whether you need it or not. And we're going to force you to calculate how much that required minimum amount that you need to withdraw is. RMD, required minimum distribution. Well, so IRAs have had this, 401ks have had this, pre-tax accounts have had this. Roth IRAs have not. Roth IRAs, because you never got a tax deduction up front, there was never this requirement that you needed to start pulling some money out. I wonder if that's something we'll see way out there in the future. But as of right now, Roth IRAs have always enjoyed no required minimum distribution. So you've been able to contribute to the Roth, your Roth IRA, and with the confidence that you can leave that money in there for as long as, for your entire life, actually. But there's been this obscure rule where 401ks, whether they're pre-tax or Roth, they're all under the 401k RMD rule, meaning that Roth 401ks, you've needed to do a required minimum distribution out of there. Even though you never deducted your contributions in the first place, your Roth 401k needed to have a required minimum distribution. Begs the question, why when you were, age 72 or like retired after your career, why would you leave money in a Roth 401k? Just move it to a Roth IRA. And this was one of many reasons why, that didn't make sense. Move it to a Roth IRA. Well, thankfully, within the Secure Act 2.0, they've gotten rid of those rules. So starting, in 2024, I don't know why it didn't start immediately, but starting in 2024, Roth 401ks will no longer have a required minimum distribution to them. So that is good news. I don't think that's going to affect many of us, but it's been a glitch in the tax code that thankfully thankfully Congress has cleaned up. Now, a couple other planning points to consider, just be aware of. Number one, that the required minimum distribution ages are changing anyway. They changed from 70.5 to 72 in Secure Act 1.0, and they're moving from 72 to 73 starting in 2024 because of the Secure Act 2.0. It will eventually move to age 75. So just be aware of all of that with these RMD changes. And yeah, Roth 401ks starting next year, thank goodness, no required minimum distribution. But then the other thing is make sure that you're doing comprehensive financial planning, working with your certified financial planner who's looking at all 6 areas of your financial life, because just because Roth 401ks no longer have a required minimum distribution, there's still a lot of reasons why you shouldn't have an old Roth 401k anyway. When you're retired and you're, at age 73 or 75 out there in the future, there's really not much reason to have an old 401k at an old employer. There's a lot of reasons to transition those dollars over and roll them over from your Roth 401k into a Roth IRA. Lots of flexibility with investment choices, whole range of investment choices, a lot more flexibility in withdrawing those dollars, tax withholding, which you might say, well, why would I withhold taxes on a Roth IRA withdrawal, Roth 401k withdrawal? It's because you can actually withhold dollars there. And so if you're not paying taxes in, or you don't want to do estimates or whatever, then you could still withhold taxes from your Roth IRA. So Roth IRAs give you a lot more flexibility than Roth 401k. So don't see this as a reason to say, well, I guess I'll just leave this Roth 401k money there forever just because they've changed this rule. So simple update, but a good update. Flexibility and fixing a glitch that I would say was in the Internal Revenue Code. So work with your certified financial planner. Should you be funding that Roth 401k? Are you going to be one of the individuals that's caught where you are required to fund your catch-up contributions into your Roth 401k? Work with your certified financial planner, get that tax planning advice, and then that investment planning advice and retirement planning advice as well. If you don't have a CFP on your team that can help you with that, contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.